Hi everyone, and welcome to episode 2 of Chats and Chai. As you know, Chats and Chai is a platform where we at Moksh celebrate community and collaboration. And today I am really excited because we have a very special guest with us, someone who I have a lot of admiration for and respect for the work that she does. None other than Laura Fergus from Inner Harmony Health. And Laura is a biokinesiologist, a health coach, a nutritionist and women's health expert, and also a nurse from Sligo Hospice. So welcome, Laura.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for being part of today.
Thank you so much, and thanks for having me.
You're welcome. And so, Laura, I would love to kick off our first round of questions. And the very first one was, if you could perhaps give us an idea for our viewers, tell us about what you do and what service you bring to the community.
Yeah, no problem at all. So I offer a nutrition and health coaching service, which offers one-to-one consultations, but also group programs as well. But I also do talks and presentations as well. So it's all basically my diploma is in naturopathic nutrition. So it's how to heal your body or fuel your body through natural means, either through food or lifestyle choices. And I suppose my ideal client and who I gravitated towards, and the niche that I gravitated towards, is busy women. So trying to help busy women to navigate modern life and the complexities of that, and just eat well and do things in their life every single day that helps to keep them strong, healthy, and just lead a normal life. Really.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
and so I fit that profile, busy woman.
Yes.
And as one of your customers, I can vouch for how easily you can let certain parts of your life slip.
Yeah.
Whether it comes to your diet, your health regimen, or
Yeah.
your fitness,
Yeah.
sleep, basic things that you're trying to juggle.
Yes.
So we've spoken before as well about how women have not perhaps felt heard for generations,
Yeah.
because we have these changing needs, right?
Yeah.
Like whether it is menopause, perimenopause, postnatal, prenatal, all these different stages of a woman's life requires a very different approach to diet, lifestyle, nutrition.
Agreed.
And that's one of the reasons I know I started seeing you. And they do require an additional level of knowledge, support, and care. We don't always have those answers at our fingertips.
Yeah.
So tell us how you better support women through that journey.
Yeah, well, I suppose women nowadays, we have a huge amount of things in our lives. We're trying to be everything to everybody. And like social media and life in general kind of portrays that you have to be you have to be a good mom, you have to be a good sister, you have to be a good friend, you have to be all these things. And it's really, really difficult, and it's huge pressure on women. Like we have to work outside the home, work in the home, and often we are the last person that we look after. We look after everybody else's needs apart from our own. And then we have modern life, like convenience foods, and then like extra toxins that's in the world today that's impacting our lives. And often people just can't see the wood for the trees, and they just don't know what it is that is causing them to either, feel like their gut is out of whack, or their hormones are, maybe they're just really, really tired, no energy, just depends what it is. And they just don't know where to start. So often when they come to me, it's just like literally pulling back everything and finding out what's important to them and where we can start. And start at the way that it's not what I think they should do, it's what they need to do to fit into their lives, basically. Did I answer the question, or did I totally go off?
No, that's great. That's great. Absolutely. So you use basically a very consultative
very
process.
much, very one-to-one, very individualised, and what is important to them and the pace that they need to be at. And I suppose like they could have varying different degrees of things that's wrong, or that's impacting their lives. And it's like, what can we do to kind of start it off so they start to feel a bit more energy, so they have more energy to build on it, if you understand me.
Yeah, brilliant.
And women often say, "Oh, I'm just so tired," but it's just normal, and it is to a certain way. But women need to start taking the time for themselves.
Yeah.
And I think it's something that we need to kind of support in our children, to make sure our sons and our daughters know that women need to have this time either to go exercising or to do things for themselves, so that the next generation that comes up, it's just normal life for them. Because I suppose our mothers and our grandmothers were very much in the home and they did everything. We don't do that anymore, but we're trying to do that as well as do the work outside the house. And it's just, you can't be pulled in every single direction, I don't think. Yeah.
And I think, Laura, that's great. But if you would agree with me, women have been fed this narrative for years that, women have been doing this for generations. We've been juggling. We've been doing the juggle, whether you're a stay-at-home mum, there's still work to be done, or you're running a business, or you've got a job. So this juggle has been going on for generations. It's almost like, well, sure, people have been doing it. So as if to say that it's just normal part of your life.
I hear you.
But it is ignored these other dimensions that happen, such as, your requirements around menopause or perimenopause, and now you have a child, and, what are the logistics behind that? I have found as a result that, the traditional approach that women go to, menopause, we must need HRT, or it's, postnatal, or this is only a phase, right? So we've been told the fix-its that are given to us, right? So the traditional model as well that is currently out there doesn't really address and answer and help us. So what do you think that the traditional approach misses or ignores and doesn't consider?
Yeah, I think it's really difficult. I think the traditional sport, it's doing its best, but it is overrun. They don't have enough time. When you go to a doctor at the moment, they literally have very little time with you, so they can't possibly know everything that's going on. And actually, the last time I was in a doctor's surgery, which was a long time ago, there was a sign up saying, please, we'll only deal with one problem. But everything is interlinked with each other, you know, and you need time to be heard. And often people come to me and they even, just listening to them, they're like, thank you for listening. And you wouldn't do anything else other than that at that time. Like, and they're just like, it's so nice for somebody to actually listen and hear me, what I'm saying. But I suppose the other part of it is as well, I think, okay, back in other generations, women were very, very busy, and women are always very, very busy. But I think now, in our lives now, it's never been as busy for women. And it's just really, really difficult. And often we go to different things like outside ourselves, like we'll say HRT, all these things. Not that I'm saying it's wrong to take these things at all. Everybody's individualised. But we kind of look for a fix outside ourselves and say, if I take that, then it'll be fine because I can continue on doing what I'm doing. But what I think women need to think about is take a step back from themselves and just say, how am I in this? Like how, I don't need a Band-Aid for this. I want to actually fix it properly. And that's where something like what I can provide comes in.
No, that's excellent.
Get to the root of the problem, really.
Yeah. As someone who has consulted with you, I can totally see that. Because the traditional approach for me doesn't always work, because I see it as a very defense mechanism. You're unwell, you're sick, there is a problem, you've gone to see a GP. And as you said, they're really busy, the system's overrun. So it's like we'll address one problem, but sure, I might be on multiple medications for different conditions. I might be having the different scenarios at play. And unless you get the holistic picture, how can you really truly help someone? So I've always considered your services as unique, if I may say so myself. It's because you have that medical background and you are now down this holistic path as well, and so well informed. And I think probably the best person to see someone. And having, been through an autoimmune diagnosis myself that you helped me through, I can only, vouch and say how that really, seeing you truly helped me. Because the consultation was an hour, but I was able to air everything that I really wanted to. And I did feel very heard.
Good.
Thank you for that. So you've done a lot of work supporting women in their journey into menopause through their changing body, health and nutritional needs. What have you found in your experience of women lacking around menopause and perimenopause?
I would think it is, they just don't know, they don't have the information about what it is. And I think even that starts with women during the reproductive years. Women kind of don't understand about periods and stuff like that, and they often hate their periods, and they hate that, maybe they've hormonal imbalances all their life, and then they get to this other stage of their life and it's like things go even a little bit more off kilter, and they just don't know what to do with it. like what I can say about perimenopause and menopause, it's a natural stage of life. But if you fuel your body and, you know, do things like with nutrition and lifestyle that kind of, you know, keep you as healthy and as robust as possible before it, your transition will be smoother. And I feel, again, they often search outside themselves for things that are going to help them, when you need to go back inside yourself and say, well, what is it that I can do day to day to make myself feel better? And often it's really hard things, but the real simple things, to eat better and do things in your life, go to bed earlier, you know, come off your phones, all the really hard stuff, and kind of be more like back to basics, as I say. Eat real foods and look after yourself day to day. You can't be everything to everybody and like going like on the go all the time and then expect to get through perimenopause and menopause, like sail through it. It's not going to happen. Yeah.
Great. So I recall you once saying, I think it was a quote on your office door.
Yeah, it's fallen down there now.
Okay, what does the quote say? It was about the gut.
So it says 90% of serotonin is made in your gut.
In your gut.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
And serotonin, your happy hormone. So tells you a
so
lot.
Literally everything relates to the gut, is what it says. That most of our ailments and our symptoms are diet related, and that we may not even know about this. So tell us more about it.
So before, when I would like doing nursing and everything like that, and learning loads about the body, then I decided to go down this path and learn about biokinesiology and then nutrition. Everything comes back to the gut. So if you have an autoimmune disorder, if you have a skin problem, if you have something neurological, start with the gut. So what we're eating and what we do day to day affects our gut. So our gut is our interface with the outside world. When you put something into your body, it goes down through your gut. What are you putting into your body, food-wise, and then lots of environmental toxins as well. When our gut gets damaged with loads of different things, it breaks down that barrier and we tend to have issues. So always starting with your gut. So eat better and try and heal up that gut to be more robust in life. It just depends then. Some people have genetic issues or whatever, so you might start off thinking, oh, I've always had problems with my tummy, or I've always had problems with my gut, or my mum has, or my dad has. That doesn't mean that you're going to have, you might have to work a little bit harder to build it up, but always start with the gut and try and heal that up, and it'll have, like, you might think, you're trying to maybe heal your skin, but it'll heal other things. You think, oh yeah, I don't have that anymore, because it has such a ripple effect on other things. Yeah.
Great. And I think it also is, our lifestyle. We've been fed this narrative of, oh, this is so convenient. It's so easy. The supermarket shelves are filled with literally a lot of foods that are inflammatory, right? Yeah. And there's a lot of hogwashing that goes on in the name of, oh, well, this is healthy just because it's got a lovely leaf or fruit and vegetable on the pack. So we go, oh, sure, this is healthy. Let's pick this up. So I think what we're eating is currently, particularly because of our busy lifestyles, we're tending to eat more convenience food.
Yeah.
And really, ultimately, we should be eating real fruit, veg, and meat.
Yeah.
Have we had the wool pulled over our eyes?
I think we have, yeah. And again, that's just with the modern world and how busy we are, and trying to get everything done quickly because we're so rushed with things, and also advertisement. Ads on television around Christmas time, particularly coming up to Easter. Somebody actually put something up on Instagram yesterday that the Easter things are in the shop already. It's January. Like, it's crazy. And we're pushed into these things. Yeah. And like, your Christmas isn't going to be good enough unless you have this chocolate pie. And then it's like, hello. Plus, not only that, then it's the advertisement, the way the packaging is laid out. Like, they could have high protein written on it. Yeah. But if you look at the label, there's like just as much sugar as there's protein in it. But that's what their selling point is. So it's just about taking the time again. And I know time is the least thing that women have, but taking the time to read your labels and think about what these foods are. And then other foods then have like additives added into them that make you want to have more of them. Like, we'll say Pringles, their slogan is, once you pop, you can't stop. Yeah. That's because of stuff in it that makes you not be able to stop. It's about even just having that awareness of it. It's like, what do I want for my body? Rather than, having these foods. And it's so hard, I get it. And when you're tired and, your kids are asking for these things, it's really, really hard. But what I would say to people is, 80-20 if you can. Try and have 80% of the good foods, like you said, and 20% for these kind of convenience foods. If you're nowhere near that and you're way down, just building it up. Like, the standard American diet is less than 50-50, which is really sad. And there are a huge amount of chronic illnesses over there and obesity. So just trying to bring it back a little bit, and just small little tiny steps. Like, nobody's expecting everybody to be like absolutely brilliant from the minute you come. Like, when people come to me, you don't have to be absolutely excellent straight and never falter. we live in the real world. But just taking little steps every day and maybe saying, out of all that processed food, what is the best choice that I can make in them processed foods as well? Because there's lots of levels of the processed foods as well.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah.
Now that's good advice.
Yeah.
Now we mentioned the health issue that I had last year, and where it was debilitating in nature,
Yeah.
and you really helped me through to recovery, and I'm very
You were
grateful.
a great client. You were a great client.
I am very grateful for that. And what I learned from that experience was how much everything we consume impacts our lifelong health. And while I was always a healthy eater, I think, I exercise, I eat healthy.
Yeah.
I learned about how our current lifestyle and how our diets can be so highly inflammatory. And while globally people are starting to be more health conscious about, what they're feeding their bodies, their minds, etc., there's still so much that we don't know unless we seek the help or research and go to a health practitioner like yourself. Can you talk about that a little bit? Like just around, I know we've already covered a bit about, how we can make those changes, but sometimes for me it's been like around reading labels.
Yes. Yeah.
I know you had this thing on your, I think it was in one of your social media, Instagram, healthy swaps.
Yes.
Can you tell us about some of those minor changes that we can make?
Yeah, so there's loads and loads, and I'm only learning myself, and I'm learning all the time as well. That like things that I would have considered healthy like 5-6 years ago, I'm like, oh, it's not so healthy now.
Yeah.
It's just all about, and it's not that it's not healthy, but there's a better version of it. There's so many things. Do you want me to give you ideas on it?
Just some random examples.
So like we'll say oils that you cook with is a really good one. What oil do you use in your pan? Lots of the oils are inflammatory. So using extra virgin olive oil, keeping that oil in a dark bottle in the cupboard away from light because it's really, really chemically, it reacts to things. And just using that on your pan. Like any of the vegetable oils and everything like that, they when they get heated, the chemical structure changes and our bodies just don't know how to break them down. And that can often cause a lot of inflammatory issues in our body. Like table salt, another really, really good one. Like, it's full of chemicals. It's not really for consumption, so going for your Celtic salt or your Himalayan pink salt. Then thinking breads, even think of all the breads on the shelf and how the shelves have been empty for the last few days. Read your labels on breads, I would say to everybody. If there's names like that long that you don't know how to pronounce, does that belong in your body? And try and just to have a few ingredients, or go to a bakery maybe if you don't bake yourself, and then that they've just put in the flour, the water, the eggs, whatever it is that makes the bread into it. Anything that lives on a shelf for a long period of time, like my pet peeve is them buns, the cream buns, that when you look at the date, it's like they can be in your cupboard for 3 months.
Yeah.
Like how can cream be in for 3 months? What is that?
Yeah.
And then you think of McDonald's, all these things. Why? Like I remember after COVID, we were away camping in Coleraine, and next thing everything opened up, and the boys were like, "Oh, come on, let's go for something to eat. We haven't been out to eat for ages." And we were driving into Coleraine town, and there was like all the the retail park with all the different foods, and there was McDonald's, and there was like a fish and chip kind of one, and there was like a sandwich bar and stuff like that, and the queue was going into McDonald's was absolutely mental, because there's chemicals in that make you want to have it, and I was like, absolutely not, I'm not eating it. By the time we got into the takeaway, I was like, with the smell of it, I was like, yeah, I'll have some. So it dries, it dries it. So knowing that they're adding things to foods that are making you drawn to them. I just think, what do I want for my body, not for these companies to make profit for them. That's what
right.
I often think.
I think that's, the final level of scrutinization that I took on board from my experience with, since seeing you. Seed oils are another one, how they're really bad, and the additives. I use this app, the Yucca app, which I find really helpful because you can actually click in and see, why. And you can use a bit of common sense as well. If you're going to scan a pack of dates, of course, dates are filled with sugar, but you're not eating a pack of dates.
But it's also got fibre that's going to carry that.
You're eating maybe one date or 2 dates. And, oils, canola oil, and all these other oils, rapeseed, etc. We've been told, oh, great, this is so healthy. It's a lovely, healthier oil. Whereas they're not.
No.
I tend to cook mainly in coconut oil.
Yeah, brilliant.
Using
butter or good Irish butter. Very good.
Right. And even they're saying Talon.
Yes.
Is a far better choice. Than ultimately not frying food.
Yes.
Fried food is probably the worst.
Yeah.
So we actually first connected, surprise, surprise, over chai.
Yes.
Right? Because I had seen some of your work and some of your posts on Instagram, and was drawn to your work because I really loved like the content that you were creating and generating. Even simple things like recipes, and when you're busy and on the go, and you still want to eat healthy.
Yes.
And then I met you at one of the chai tastings, and I was delighted to hear you're a fan of the turmeric.
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
So why turmeric? And tell us what you like about our turmeric, the Moksh turmeric chai, and also turmeric in general.
Yeah, so I absolutely love it. Like, I did not know anything about spices, about herbs, or anything like that till I started studying the nutrition. And then just knowing what these things that are natural in the world do for your body and how they are so medicinal, like, how could you not love them, And it's just like, I'd love to be able to teach. Like, I'm not a cook, I'm not a very good cook, but that's the next thing I would love to learn to do, is how to bring herbs like into your cooking, that it's like your meal is even more medicinal for you. So yeah, turmeric, just absolutely love it. I wouldn't be a huge spice lover, but like, I just learned about it and started putting it into smoothies and things like that. And then I was buying different brands to have in latte. And then Jacqueline's shop, I think, was the first time I bought them. And I was like, oh my God, this is a gorgeous one. It's local. Yeah, the Wellness Pantry. I was like, this is local, this is brilliant. I tasted it. And it's just the mixture of all the lovely herbs in it, because it's not just turmeric in it. It's just got that little sweetness. The spices, and everything. And it's just gorgeous. And I just love it. At the end of the day, nice and warm, lovely, like almond milk, and just, it's my treat. I just absolutely love it. It's so warming, and so you feel like you're having something really, really nice, but something healthy at the same time as well.
Great, thank you.
Love it.
And I think also it was highlighted to me by yourself that through the changing body needs, particularly around perimenopause, which would be myself, that turmeric is highly beneficial.
Yeah, it's anti-inflammatory. It is antioxidant. It's warming, so it depends on your energetics. That goes down the whole Ayurvedic route. And it's just, there's so many health benefits to it. Completely.
Oh, great. Yeah. And I think it's one of those, things that people forget. I'm a massive lover of spices and foods in general, and highly influenced by Ayurveda, because traditionally, as by birth, I'm an Indian, and we tend to use this. There was always a fix in our home. There was always a fix for something, whether it was digestion, a cold, or there was an ailment, or there's a bruise on your, your knee. So we would, they would even grind things into a paste and apply it traditionally. And you can see when, if you go back to the indigenous First Nations people in most countries, and back to our ancestors, even here in Ireland, like the Druids, they would go and forage for remedies. They'd go and get elderberries or the hawthorn berry for different things. There are a lot of benefits in spices in general. Do you have any favorites? Or any...
yes, like turmeric definitely comes up there 100%. Ginger, love ginger as well, lovely and warming as well. And again, is anti-inflammatory, antioxidant as well. What else would I love? I'm trying to be more adventurous with these things as well, like cloves, fabulous, lovely. And they all kind of do different things for, different things in your body. It's just like trying to pick these things. And like Ireland, like we were rural, Ireland has not been like totally modernized for the last maybe 50 years. Like we were very an island by itself. And like our grandparents, like it's not huge generations ago, would have went out and picked nettles, things like that, around their house that heal things. Like even like traditional medicine, like the allopathic medicine, is about 100 years old. It's not that old. So what do people do before that for their health? You just kind of think like that. And like people are sicker and sicker and sicker and sicker nowadays. Like there's so much chronic illness. Like China is a really good example. China kept their herbal medicine going along with their traditional now with the conventional medicine, and like they can pick and choose. But we seem to have let it go a lot. So it's like, even like if your grandparents are still alive, like ask them what they used to do years and years and years ago with things. And there's lots of things like in our surroundings, like honey, things like this that we can bring into our lives that are so healing. And don't have to be super expensive either. Like herbal teas, like absolutely brilliant. As well.
No, that's great advice, and absolutely. That's something that we are hoping to do more at Moksh. Like celebrate those traditional approaches and incorporate things that are nourishing for your body. So as I know you qualified yourself as a nurse, what drew you down this path?
Oh God. I suppose I always have been drawn. Like when I started my training, I was a little bit older. I was 24 when I started my training. But when I did it, I was always drawn to like more palliative, more looking after people and kind of stopping all this, like, putting people through an awful lot of treatment and stuff like that when things might be like, futile at that stage. So I always was like palliative. So for the last 14 years, I've been palliative. And in that, then I started looking and saying, why are people so sick and why are people getting so unwell? And, the amount of chronic illness is just building and building and building. And that just opened my eyes. I was like, there must be something else to this. Then I started studying the biokinesiology, which just opened my eyes completely to a whole different world and nothing, outside of medicine, of how people can kind of prevent illness rather than cure or try to treat an illness. And then when I started studying that and I was looking after people and stuff like that, I was like telling them kind of to eat things, and I was like, I wonder why I'm really telling them to eat that. So I said, I need to study nutrition. So once I studied that, and it was naturopathic nutrition, so all about natural health. It's just, and I can't get enough of it. I'm just like, tell me more. There's so much more to learn. Like, you can never stop. And just with simple little things that can prevent you from getting chronically unwell. Because nobody wants to be there. Nobody wants to be in that bed in a hospice. And nobody wants to be sitting beside their family member sick either. So it's just all these things about trying to just prevent it and just keep yourself as healthy as possible to have a robust body.
Excellent. That's great advice. And so now to some, that brings us to the end of all the main questions. And I have some rapid fire questions for you.
Okay. Do I have to answer them super quick?
No, not at all. These are more personal questions.
Okay.
What do you do for downtime?
Watch TV. Oh, TV is my weakness. Oh my God, I love TV. Like,
I would not have expected that answer.
Yeah, no, watch TV. I like literally get addicted to like things like Netflix.
And what is your favorite food?
Oh, favorite food. Oh, I love all foods. I couldn't pick a favorite. Like, I'm not a cook, but if somebody was to cook something, I would eat anything really now.
Okay. So on a cheat day, you would eat?
Oh God, probably crisps, I suppose. Yeah. I'm human.
Are you a morning or night person?
A total morning person. That again has changed. I was not a morning person, but I am such a morning person now. Like, my husband's like, you are not the same person as you used to be.
Okay. Yeah. Great. And coffee or tea or chai?
Tea. And not black tea, herbal teas.
Teas. Oh, brilliant. Yeah. Favorite spot in Donegal?
Oh, well, I have to say Bundoran is fabulous. I love Bundoran and Rogie Walk and everything. But I've been up to Downings, and whatever way that up there, I just felt like I'd been there before, or it was going back to somewhere I'd been like before. So I love Downings as well, I have to say.
Nice. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And what's the favorite country you visited?
Oh God.
A holiday destination?
I love sun.
Sunshine.
Like, I wouldn't want to go away from Ireland if it was warm here. Like, it's beautiful. Okay. Like, it's absolutely beautiful here. But I suppose I want to admit all the cheesy places, really, like Tenerife and stuff like that. I love it.
Yeah,
anywhere
nice.
Yeah.
And what's your favourite movie?
Oh, a really old one, Fight Club.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. That's
I like movies with a twist that you're at the end. You're like, oh,
yes.
And Brad Pitt, obviously.
Ed Norton's not too bad either, but a different, different energy.
My best friend now loved him. Yeah, that was her.
If you could interview one person, who would it be?
Oh, I can't think of an answer to this one. I think what keeps coming into my mind is like women generations ago and stuff like that, and see what was going on for them and what challenges were in their life, or even nowadays, just different kinds of women. Yeah. Just to see actually what do women want, because. As I'm progressing in this, I'm realising it's different to what I think they want. And it's like, I just need to get more in tune with that, what the generalised woman wants in life. Yeah.
Awesome. And your favourite band or musician?
I would say dance music. So, like, not an actual band, but DJs, yeah.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah. Well, that brings us to the end of the questions, Laura. Thank you for being such a great sport. And
thank you so much.
Being part of episode 2 of Chats and Chai. It's been absolute delight having you.
Thank you for asking me, and thanks a million. No, I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.